Welcome to Ally to All, a podcast for teens that embraces authenticity, empowers change, and evolves through meaningful conversations. In this episode, join myself and Shannon Strazdas as we talk about Maui, her beloved home, and how the devastation is creating massive connection, teamwork, and support, and how this resiliency is infectious around the world.
Aloha. My name's Shannon Strazdas.
And I'm Katie Stowe.
Thank you. Mahalo. Nui loa. Thank you so much for joining us for our podcast. This is with our Leadership and Transformation Thesis Legacy Project, what we get to leave behind and make an impact. And in the midst of creating this legacy project and doing a podcast, a huge natural disaster and turmoil has occurred in my life and on my island. I am in Maui, Hawaii, and I'm sure everyone around the world has heard about what's happening here. And it is my responsibility, which we call kuleana, our responsibility and our care, to share vulnerably, authentically, and raw. There's no plan for this, as there was no plan for any of this for our island. So I am grateful to hold the space and in this container and to share what's going on here for us and what you can do to help, and really what you can do for yourself when experiencing tragedy and trauma. So to start us off, I want to do a ha, which is the Hawaiian breath of life. This is a way that Hawaiians traditionally greeted themselves. You put your foreheads one to one another and you breathe in. And this is a way to exchange your mana, which is your life force, your spirit, your will. It is a way to exchange your energy, to release toxic stresses, to bring yourself back to a state of calm and peace and relax your mind, body, and soul. So before we get into anything, I invite you to lean in, close your eyes, and take a deep breath in and out. And take another deep breath in and out. And mahalo. I want to, come back to this space. So as you hear the word ha is part of aloha. And aloha, as you know, is a greeting. Aloha also means kind of breath, your breath of life. And it also is love. And it is also connection and community. And through everything that has happened with us, this aloha cannot be burned. We have gone through so much. So many people have died, have lost everything. So many people, 1,000 people are still missing. Thousands have lost their homes. Everyone on the island their jobs are impacted. It has literally impacted everyone on our island. However, our aloha is so strong. And that is the beauty of our island. Before any aid came to us, and I still don't even really see the impact of our government. I guess FEMA's here, but who really knows? It has been grassroots movement immediately on the ground. Our entire island stood up for one another, which again is our kuleana, our responsibility. We got the donations. We brought supplies to people in need. We were finding shelter for people who lost everything. We have been finding support for the keiki, which is our children, through games and events, through support. I mean, right now we are straight up everyone is in survival mode. The amount of impact that this has had emotionally, it really we can't even fathom the impact, and this is going to be a long road. So a thing I want to touch base on is grief and sadness. I have just been me, myself, everyone has been straight devastated, and working through my tools, because yeah, it's easy to use our tools through leadership when it's easy, but right now it's not. And I'm doing things that aren't working, and we'll get into that, and things that are working, and ways to process this and know that it's part of it. It's okay to feel lost and to experience this grief and anger. It's not a quick fix. And yes, we get to access our joy, taking time for ourselves, putting our oxygen masks on first before we are able to be of service of others. And I wanted to step into that, like, okay, putting my oxygen mask on first. And I've been doing this right off the bat. I was day 2. I mean, I'm jumping all over the place because, like I said, this isn't really planned. I was there in Lahaina the day of the fires. I was working. I saw the flames. I saw the destruction. I luckily was safe and went to safety. And we had no communication to the outside world, no communication to what really was happening over there, like in town in Lahaina. But I could see it. I could see the devastation, and I knew I just had to get back home. I live in Pukalani, which is hole in the sky, which is also gateway to heaven. And there was also fires. People were being evacuated 2 miles from my home when I had left. And this was early in the morning, so I didn't even know if my house was standing. I just knew I had to get back. I left my car there because there was no way for me to get out. Hitchhiked back in this pure survival mode. And then after the next day, after I rested, I was on the ground, ready to go, ready to like see everyone supporting, standing in line. I mean, like, we were doing whatever we can. There's no organization. I'm like making signs for where things go. We literally have no idea what we're doing. There's no direction. There's no authority. It's us that we just, being leaders, we just created that upon ourselves. And honestly, that was so draining. And then in my personal life has just been a struggle. And all I can really do right now is take care of myself and my immediate family. And through that, there's guilt. And I know other people here are experiencing guilt of, okay, well, I have to be doing all this. It's just it's not feasible. It's like, it's not sustainable.
Yeah. Wow. What's so interesting about watching you go through this experience is that I've noticed you share, and you alluded to, like, that's like a responsibility. It's like a duty that you feel to share not only what you're experiencing, but what everybody around you that you're experiencing is experiencing. And when we're talking about grief and really being in it, not even being at the point of like on the other side, because eventually we get there. But when we're in it, it's hard, which is what I'm hearing you share. What has had you keep moving?
Tears,
Yeah.
lots of crying, not holding on to, like, letting these emotions get stuck. Moving through the tears. Community support is my number one. Reaching out to my family, my ohana, my community. It's been huge. We have all are supporting one another, staying strong together. I've also found really beautiful release in movement, in yoga. At first, for the first like 5 or 6 days, I mean, I was like, how could I really do anything? I felt bad taking time for, like, I was talking to him about guilt, felt bad about taking time for myself. And I was like, okay, yoga has been a huge release. I go to yoga class now. The entire studio is packed. We're all crying.
Wow.
We're all there to support one another. It's just that movement, exercise, getting to the beach, another way I was feeling guilty. And actually that was beyond healing. And actually we have no tourists right now.
Yeah.
Side note, we do need tourists. I mean, the rest of our island is all suffering even though we're not in the fire, we're run on tourism. So, but I do see people like locals all at the beach with their families barbecuing. I mean, just it's beautiful, you know, that's the aloha. So that's what I'm experiencing of what's working on ways to heal ourselves personally.
Well, and so what I'm hearing from you is like there's that taking the space to put your oxygen mask on first, even when there's that guilt. And thank you for sharing that, because I think that a lot of people feel that and don't actually communicate that they feel grief when really hard things are happening. I know I have, like, and it's sort of like a hidden underneath sort of feeling. So when we can like identify, ooh, there's guilt, and that's what has me want to like be in the doing of it, but it's taking care of ourselves. And then two, I'm hearing that in the midst of the really hard stuff, there's this beautiful community, and like coming back to the roots of who you are as a community that you're getting to experience and be a part of and create. And you know, we've seen this like with COVID and everything that was happening with that. We've seen it happen in the world where people are coming together and supporting each other. And it's such a beautiful thing to see that in Maui, in the midst of all of this just horrificness that's so incredibly unfair, to see people rallying together. And it's been a beautiful thing getting to watch just the view that I see from you sharing, that everybody's rallying together. You guys aren't waiting for someone to come in and help you. You're taking care of each other. And I think that it's almost like a lost commitment sometimes. Like it takes that awfulness for us to like wake up and see, wow, like we have each other. So how can we start creating this? Like you are in it and you're seeing the value of it. So how can we start creating this in our communities?
Being vulnerable,
Mm.
knowing it's okay to not be okay, reaching out in sadness. It's so easy. It's easy to either fight, flight, run away from our problems, crawl in a hole. You know, those are very, and trust. I have thought about every single one of those things. It would just be an easier way. And I just know that's not the healthy way, and that's not a grounding, sustainable way. So, as I said, like my number one source for working through this has been my community support. And yes, we're all reaching each other, but it's taking the initiative to reach out. I mean, when it first happened, and then it's like you get so overwhelmed with the support. So
Yeah.
like I
It's like
got
a
like
whole
5
nother
million.
thing.
It's actually, it was also, I got 5 million messages from people where I couldn't respond, you know. And like I said, this is, and with lots of really traumatic events like this, it takes time and it's a continuous thing. So if you're looking to support someone, keep doing that even though they're not responding right then, and know that it's okay to reach out in those moments of low, and know that this is this is going to be a long road, and it's going to be different levels of ebbs and flow.
Actually, that's a really valid point that you're bringing up, because I think a lot of people wonder, oh, if they're not responding, I want to reach out and support, right? And they're not responding. Ooh, maybe it wasn't a good thing to reach out. And what I'm hearing you say is it was a beautiful thing to get all of these messages and all of this encouragement and all of this checking in on you, even though you couldn't answer all of them. So people get to reach out even if there's not a response.
And continue to reach out. I mean, I know with anyone, people that have lost their homes, I mean, I just know it's to keep doing that. It's real. At the beginning, I got 5 million responses. I called my mom.
Yeah.
It was the
Yes.
one person, it was the only person I could talk to, you know. And
Yeah.
I did a mass message just to let everyone know I am safe. And that's another piece of how we get to work through this, is finding gratitude.
Mm.
Gratitude in anything, the smallest thing. I took a shower and put makeup on for the first I mean, I've showered, but put makeup on for the first time since all this has happened. Just like these little pieces of gratitude for ourselves go a long way.
Wow. Yeah. What are ways that our listeners and the people that are watching and listening, how can we support even though we're not physically there?
There has been so many ways of so many avenues of support, and through this, which is actually freaking awful that there's lots of scams in this. There's lots of huge
Yeah.
organizations where they keep tons of the profits. I don't think that's the way to support. And this is going to be a continuous thing. So the way that me and some friends have been working on doing a fundraiser is, and we can put the link in the chat, it is through buying gift cards, Target gift cards, and it's going directly to families that have been impacted. So these people, I mean, this is first going to people that are first closely connected with us, which I mean, I have countless friends that have lost everything, and then let this ripple out to, I mean, see how much money we can raise, ripple out to everyone, and then go to the Maui Food Bank. I mean, there's thousands of families in need. So this is giving a gift card going directly to them. Donations, we are full on physical donations. They're overwhelmed in that. And this gift card to Target gives people a sense of pride and normalcy. They're not, they're still homeless, but they're not sleeping in a shelter, standing in line at some makeshift like camp, getting like whatever supplies that someone has left, which are a lot, and that's beautiful things for their first initial run through, which is amazing. But this is like, a sense of normalcy. Go to the store themselves, pick something out that they want to assist them in the immediate. Yes, we're going to get government support to build their houses again. May that stay within Hawaii. That's another piece I really want to touch base on in a moment.
Yeah.
But this is right now, again, we are in survival mode, and this, especially people that have lost everything, this gives them immediate help in that survival mode. Yes, moving forward, they will get the government aid to rebuild their homes, and our jobs will come back and everything. So, this program is also beautiful. My girlfriend Megan Nolan that initiated this fundraiser. She is a yoga teacher, meditation healer, amazing woman, and she does various workshops. And anyone that donates even $1, because everything helps, you and the family that it goes to gets free access to her workshops and programs, which are all online.
Wow.
And it's called Wake the Warrior Within, because clearly we all need this. We're all impacted by, I mean, you see sorrow and grief and tragedy on the news. It impacts all of us, whether you're here or you're not. So this is a way for you to help and to help yourself. So yeah, Wake the Warrior Within.
Well, and it's interesting talking to people who have been to Maui even once. And it doesn't matter how long ago it was. There is this like immediate, it's such a magical place, I hear. Like I really get to be there regardless of what's going on in the world. Like everyone keeps talking about this sense of just magicalness. I don't even know how to describe it, but like everyone who's been there is just touched so deeply. So it doesn't surprise me that there's this instant sense of camaraderie and allyship and teamwork that's happening, because everybody there, whether you live there or not, feels that sense of commitment to each other, which is beautiful.
For sure. If you've even been, like you're saying, if you've been here once, you experience that aloha, which again is your connection, breath, love. You feel that. And then what you experience here, it's magic. And we call it mana. It's the spirit of the island. It's the life force. I mean, this is a profound, magical place, Haleakala, which is right up from my house. They call it the heart chakra of the world. This is a very spiritually impactful, ancient, powerfully beautiful place. The Hawaiian culture is just absolutely incredible, and I am just humbled and grateful and blessed to be here. and do my part to show respect and give respect to maintain and ensure this Hawaiian culture, which has gone through so much, as we know.
Yeah, already.
I mean,
even without this.
I mean, in 1893, the Hawaiian government, or like rich people, the United States military and 4 rich people, businessmen, overthrew the monarchy in Hawaii, basically killed everyone through disease. I mean, tragedy and struggle within the Hawaiian people. I mean, it's been here, but in doing so, the people are strong and powerful, and you see that. And this, like I said, aloha cannot be burned. One thing that I fear, and everyone here is fearing, is a land grab, just as this happened before. And this is real. Another way you can support is making sure that this land stays with the Hawaiian people, that they have for generations and generations have had their home within their family, and just some like giant hotel can't just be built there, or some rich people which are already here come and take that. So it's imperative that our Hawaiian culture, it's not mine, I'm grateful to just be a part of it, but the Hawaiian culture remains intact.
Yeah. That and that all of that, like there's the immediate support that's happening now. And I'm sure that all of you are thinking about the future things. Okay, how can we really make sure that this beautiful island is staying true to its original, like its origin, right? Like being, I think that that's really important. Oh, well, thank you for sharing, and thank you for allowing yourself, even in like such a difficult space right now, to share this, because it doesn't matter how old our listeners are. This matters. And it's such a beautiful lesson of how we get to come together when things are difficult, and how we truly have each other all of the time. Like not just when things are difficult, we really truly have that community, even if it feels like we don't. There's so much sense of loneliness in the world. It's absolutely insane. And sometimes it takes things like this that are so incredibly difficult to realize that we're not alone.
For sure. Our thing is Maui strong. We will rebuild together. And that's a powerful lesson to bring forth in any aspect of life, clearly.
Yeah, very much so. Beautiful. We have a very special song that was very near and dear to Shannon's heart that we are going to link on the end of this video. So stay all the way till the end and listen to this beautiful song, because it is, and I listened to it as well, Shannon, and it's just like so where I feel your heart right now. And it's, in a way, I felt like this song was a way for everyone to be connected to that beautiful Maui energy. So thank you for sharing it, and we'll have it at the end of this video. So definitely listen to it and do your part to support in taking care of these people and having Maui stay in its true, beautiful, magical origin.
Beautiful. And I would invite us to stay connected as we listen to the song together. We just can't play it because of copyright infringement as a podcast, but I think it would be important to we'll post the link, and then you can go on it, and then we can still be in connection with one another. Once again, that's aloha. We're in this together. So will you post that link, babes?
Yeah.
Perfect. And I can turn my sound off, and we can just vibe.
I know we can. I love that idea. We will listen to it, and you can listen to it, and we'll do it together. I love it.
Yeah. And actually, thank you. That was the first time I smiled in a bit. So thank you. All right. I will. All right. And I will end before while you're getting that song loaded, let's end on one more ha. So lean in, close your eyes, and deep breath in and out. And one more time, deep breath in and out. Mhm. Mahalo nui loa. Thank you so much.
Even though Shannon and I can't play this song on this podcast, we want you to take a listen with us and be with us as we listen to the song. I Am by Satsang.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. And may this legacy move on through strength and prosperity, and take aloha with you wherever you go. We may be hurting and people around the world are hurting, but like I said, aloha cannot be burned. I love you. Thank you, Katie, for holding space.
You're welcome. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for listening to this episode of Ally to All podcast, created by LIT8 Transformational Leaders. Make sure to subscribe down below if you want more content like this, and if you want to learn more about being an ally in your world today. Thanks for listening, and tune in to the next one.